Hey you guys, I'm gonna be reading on the energy of Meghan and Harry as promised. In my last video I did on Meghan, I think it was on a Hot Topics video that I did about Netflix. I did tell you guys I was gonna do a follow-up reading from their planned Australia tour. At the time of this reading, today is Saturday, May 9th. They've already been to Australia, everything has kind of just happened, and so this is gonna just be a follow-up reading on their Australia trip from what I read on back then, and then also just kind of check in to see what's going on with them both. I did see that Harry has a lawsuit now. I'm not sure if it's one or two, but I definitely know of one. And I did see a headline that there may have been a second lawsuit from another charity organization. That's just a summary of what I'm going to be reading on today. Kind of see what's going on with them and then see the near future for them. All right, so we have Crossroads and on red. And then we have money moves here. So if you recall in the last reading, and it may have been the hot topics, I don't think this was in the reading I did on them individually in the video, but I do remember that they were going to travel and try to make some type of offer overseas or some type of business proposition. And like I said, I don't think that whomever this offer was to, it doesn't feel like they took it. As soon as I saw on red, that's what I was getting. But it's like they're sitting now at a crossroads here about money. Things are kind of changing for them when it comes to money and trying to figure out how they're going to make money as well in the future. I did see that she did launch, I think, some candles, and there's just been some things going on with her businesses. Like I said, it just feels like that seems kind of at a weird place right now, and where they're going to move forward to. Yeah, rebound. Yeah, it's like, how are we going to bounce back from everything that's kind of happened at this point? This is interesting card with payback, and then we have triggered here at the bottom. So there's just some unresolved things that are happening with them. It's like they're trying to bounce back from everything that's been going on, I suspect, also in the media, but also with their money. That's immediately what I got for payback, time to settle account. It doesn't feel like things are going pretty good right now. It feels like they're just still at this decision of some sort here, but it just feels like going forward energy, planning for the future here. I'm going to move these cards up because I have a few more I'm going to pull. Divine intervention. I sense that there is some karma tied into the circumstances. Yeah. Yep. There's definitely some karma tied into here. Things are not what they seem, but they may just have some spiritual stuff going on too. Yeah, things may be perceived as real but are not in fact real. Yeah, I'm not getting a good feeling off of these cards for them, but like I said, I just feel there's some karmic energy that they're going through right now. So I'm gonna switch decks here, and I'm gonna pull from another oracle deck. It just gives me like, where do we go from here? Kind of in the midst of like a dark night of the soul type of energy, in my opinion. Everything said in today's reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I am only reading on the energy of the cards, and that is it, and that is all. Is all my opinion. Right. Yeah, living in the present moment. This card is coming up for a lot of people on this channel lately. I'm even getting brought back to when I did that first reading on them both as a couple. Ghosted, disappearing acts. I still get that they live separately, y'all. Like, I don't get that this is a true one home marriage, in my opinion, just from the energy of the cards. But some stuff might come out about them or may have already come out. I have seen a couple of headlines that I don't want to bring up right now because I don't know the full story. Either there were some messages or some old messages between the prince and I don't know if it was his staff or somebody he's worked with, but there's some inappropriate messaging going on. So I'm not going to dive into it because I don't know the full picture here, but as far as them together, I just don't get happy marriage. And then also I'll say for spilling the beans, somebody could be trying to continue exposing this toxic masculinity here. Yeah, I keep hearing karmic like over and over again. Oh, we got legal, kind of legal here. Yeah, I don't think things are as they should be. And look, I told you it's like so much karmic energy on them right now as a couple. I'm not reading them individually right now. Yeah, they might have a lot of woes in the marriage. I think I titled the last video I did on the marital woes. This is my opinion, allegedly from the cards. The reason that it feels like they're still together because somebody in the relationship, in my opinion, is a key player here. They're irreplaceable. They have to play a role, and that's why they're still together, especially with this legal card here. Somebody wants to rid themselves of the toxicity, of the drama, of this extra card here, but there's a reason why they're still together. Okay, somebody won't let them go because without this person, then it kind of just everything just kind of is going to tumble down, in my opinion, from the cards. I'm hearing a Madonna song. I'm about to look the lyrics up for it. It's called what is it called? It's a superstar, shining star. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look up the song so I have it, or I may just put it up here. But I'm hearing a Madonna song for this key player card, and then now we have red flag warning signs. Yeah, lipstick evidence, infidelity. So I would say that, in my opinion, also that they are still together because they both have faults here. One is keeping their spouse because they need them for business purposes and to help them do what they, I guess, whatever they're planning to do. But the other person is also like, I can't leave because there's some evidence on me, or it could just be a public nightmare to have to deal with it. So it's cheaper to keep her. That's what I'll say. It's cheaper to keep her, allegedly, in my opinion. They both have so much to lose that it would not benefit either of them to go their own separate ways. That's interesting. I was only trying to read on the Australia trip, and maybe the royal family came up in this reading, but this is at the top of their energy, is their marriage, in my opinion. Yeah, there's some stuff going on right now. Somebody may be rebelling divine norms. Somebody may just be numbing themselves. It's not necessarily substances. It could be, it could be social media addiction. Numbing could be a lot of things. Disassociating. So fed up over it. Somebody's frustrated. Ooh, y'all. I'm just gonna leave it right here, okay? New boo, fed up. I hear trouble in paradise again. They just may have some frustration with one another. It may not even be seeing eye to eye. Like I said, it just does not give me living in the same home type of energy. Somebody may have somebody on the side that's new. Flirting, inappropriate relationships, allegedly, in my opinion. Look, this card, lust, turned. Yeah, I'm getting that somebody may have already tapped out of the marriage, allegedly. Somebody just may it feels like just bearing with it. Divorce just may not even be on the table at this point, at least currently in the energy. I don't think that they want to deal with the optics of a divorce right now, but if you've seen previous readings I've done on them before, then this would make sense. But it feels like everything has come to an head or just is in a nasty place at this time, especially with the crossroads energy. But they're trying to figure out where to go, especially dealing with the karmic consequences of whatever's happening here. I'm also hearing backfire. Remember, I said in the reading I did on them as individually as a couple, I mentioned at the end of that reading that there was some stuff going on that could be backfiring in a spiritual sense. So all right, I'm going to take this off and let's get into the tarot. The oracle spread was interesting, but I want to get the Australia trip out the way because I do want to just tap into it, just figure out what was going on with the Australian tour, her best life tour, or her best life retreat, or whatever she had going on. So let's tap into that and then we'll get into everything else here shortly, okay? Because that was a lot going. What was the energy of it? What was the energy of it going into it? Oh my goodness. So going into the tour, because even before they went overseas to go do this Australian tour, it's like they were definitely giving wounded warrior type of energy here with this Nine of Wands. Like they had been battling even before they got on the plane or however they traveled to get to Australia. But it's like they were fighting, dealing with everything going on, the rumors, the smear campaigns, the bad business dealings. Like it feels like this was like a last resort for them to make some money. Because I think in the last reading I did, I mentioned that they were going to be trying to make some business offers or do something with the business while they were in Australia. But things were just kind of laid to rest here. Like I don't think that they were fully able to do everything they planned to do here. So I'm going to be asking about that. But as far as the outcome goes, it was not what they thought it was going to be. What they were hoping they were going to get, they did not get. They did not manifest it. It actually may have hurt them more than helped them. This lovers, this married couple here. But let's tap into the Four of Swords here. What was laid to rest? By the Four of Swords, the energy of the trip. Why? One card, please. The Emperor. Yeah, somebody may have put a stop to them. Whatever they were trying to do overseas. There's this Emperor here, this Ten of Swords. Somebody they may have tried to work with or try to have an agreement with. They basically told them, no, we're not doing it. So I think in that reading that I did before, I mentioned they were going to try to present an opportunity to collaborate or something like that. And I'll correct myself somewhere on the video, maybe in the comments, if that's to clarify. However, it's like this Emperor here to clarify Four of Swords. They were like, nope, we're not signing on whatever you're trying to do here. That's why it's laid to rest because somebody blocked it. Somebody did not want to work with them. I'm also seeing Netflix as well. So maybe Netflix, the CEO, has something in the energy too. I'm not sure what they have to do with Australia, but whoever it is, this powerful figure, they feel like they were betrayed by him. Like they thought it was going to go one way, but the outcome was the reverse. They weren't able to manifest it. Why was it not able to be manifested? This business opportunity. Yeah, it's like the people that turned them down or whatever they were trying to do, it's like the people that had to sign on to it were just kind of watching and seeing how things are playing out. There's a secretive energy here, the moon. Um, hmm. They may also have been privy to things that were happening behind the scenes as well, because we have the tower right behind the moon, how chaotic things are just kind of crumbling down. I would even guess to say from the energy that they know how much they are being burdened right now, what they've had to fight up against as well, but they just weren't willing to take it. And then we have Two of Swords to the Star. So yeah, it's like they were cut off. They were trying to heal the situation, but again, it's like things are just not in their favor. They may have had a Queen of Swords or someone in the same energy that pretty much just cut it off. I don't even think that they were really messing with that couple at all. Okay, like I don't think that money was just a factor here. I feel like it's more of I don't know why I'm hearing campaign. So maybe they were trying to do a campaign. That could be that doesn't necessarily mean like political campaign. I'm not getting that, but it just could be like a business arrangement. Somebody just was not biting, and they were really hoping and leaning on it to make them some money, allegedly, in my opinion. What were they trying to offer them? What were they trying to offer them? Yeah, they were trying to manifest a business relationship, a business opportunity. They were trying to juggle between the two. But yeah, and they were trying to offer somebody an opportunity that was going to find them balance, that was going to help balance their work, their personal life. It has something to do with business dealings, but the person was just, like I said, just not wanting to bite, not willing to take the bait. Clarifies to a point. Yeah, it was just kind of becoming too much for them. Whoever this was. Like it feels, I'm getting like it's very close to them being this Nine of Wands to this Ten of Wands, actually having the wands on their back being too much for them to handle right now. And you see she's holding her baby, as you know, she has her children as well that she's trying to, mother and take care of. So yeah, everything is kind of becoming a little bit too much for them. Also, her best life retreat that she did, I believe, while she was over there, and I'll correct myself if that's not the case, but it's like hopeful that things are going to be an opportunity to get some more money. You see this child holding out the hand to get this money from the divine, but there was some shame and regret about this retreat in general. It's like because she was hoping that it was going to bring the family closer together, bring them opportunities and money and fulfillment. Yeah, I think she has some regret about it because there's just this toxic energy surrounding it and how it's put together. I was also hearing that there may have been more money poured into it versus how much money was going to actually be made as well. And then if you remember in the public, I think in the promo, I think I did see pictures of the retreat where she was doing an up close interview with someone, another, maybe a podcaster, but it was not enough to get the people going. I feel like people, allegedly, in my opinion, like people were more disappointed about it versus because of how much they paid for it as well. Once they got there, they saw the truth of what the retreat actually was, but they couldn't back out of it, it seems. Yeah, I would even say she was betrayed by the turnout of it, betrayed by her fans, the people that signed up to come and go, how people were perceiving it, because she thought it was going to be a great opportunity, her to travel, you see this globe, make some money, his project, but at the end of the day, it led to heartbreak. It seems like they bet more on this trip as a whole to get them a lot of stability, opportunity, but it seems like it's the reverse here. Allegedly, in my opinion, I keep hearing karma. Like that, all of this feels karmic too. So not only the relationship when I was pulling for the oracles, but everything that's kind of turned about for the Australia trip already is feeling karmic to me. Yeah, there could have been just some miscommunication across the board during this trip, or communication issues because you guys wanted to take a leap of faith. You guys wanted to travel. You see, there's a captain here steering it on the ship. This couple, yeah, they wanted to take this leap of faith, and they were probably, allegedly, in my opinion, may have been fighting and arguing and having some type of having disagreements throughout this trip as well. You're showing the energy of this defamation lawsuit. Energy of the defamation lawsuit against her scary. And remember, Four of Swords came up in the present energy for the Australia trip. A lack of planning here, defensiveness, toxic energy. And I did read on the lawsuit that one of the chair people, because this is what led to the lawsuit, is that she accuses Prince Harry of essentially pushing her out of her position. And he basically bullied her and harassed her. And because of all of the drama and everything that kind of helped, played out, they're suing them in the first place for, I believe, like slander and defamation. It's like there was just some chaotic energy around just the toxicity that was going on. And I'm getting that it had something to do with that chairwoman that was mentioned in the article. Yeah, all the messages that were playing out in the media. Yeah, things were just being brought forth in the media, some truths. It's like they were just kind of fighting to keep their reputation here. I'm not really sure as to how that works in the country that they're suing for, it's like the law specifically. However, there is some truth to it, it seems, with everything that has come out about it. I would even guess that the charity had to make some decisions on how they were going to move forward, what direction they were going to go in. But it feels like it was challenging them because it kind of feels like things were just reputational damage here. Are their claims true? Yeah, allegedly, I'm getting that the claims that the charity is making against them, there is some truth to it. This couple, because she did mention there was friction, even so far back as to when they were filming for the Netflix show. But this married couple here, he's the Earth sign, I believe, but he's still a public figure. And then you still have Meghan, the mother, his wife, was causing some alleged problems with the relationship with the charity. They may have even tried to like offer something to like make this all just kind of go away, but I don't think that they're willing to take the bait. So why sue them now? But it all happened early to mid 2025. On one hand, they're ready to everything to just kind of come out the truth. I feel like they've been holding this in for quite some time here. Like I said, I don't know the laws of wherever they're suing from, so I don't know if this has any legal backing here. But if you remember the reading I did on Meghan and Harry individually, I'm going to keep putting it up. I might just put it in the description box because it's coming up now. At the end of that reading, look, we got High Priestess and the Magician both came out. Okay, if y'all remember, and I told y'all backfiring, I said it again, backfiring, still in the karmic consequences type of energy here, allegedly, in my opinion. However, the charity I just get that they're just kind of hiding it. They're trying to keeping everything a secret, tired of them trying to keep it hush hush. I'm also getting that they can't even afford, allegedly, in my opinion, to keep people quiet anymore to a degree, whatever they try to offer them. I'm wondering if the Australia trip had a part to play in them not being able to offer anything to keep them quiet from them going to court about this. What I mean, brought to, because everything just kind of becoming too much for them to bear. Like I said, this is all in my opinion. So what's going to be challenging them for this lawsuit is because they're going to be looking at them as a couple, their stability, financial stability. They're also going to be putting a key focus here on Meghan, allegedly, in my opinion, as well. Because not only are they suing Harry, but Meghan could also be implicated in here too. Like she may end up in the court documents. If in the article I found there were no court documents available, but should it become available, don't be surprised if you see Meghan mentioned in there at all. All right, Knight of Wands, Death. This lawsuit is not going to be good for them if they need to go to court. Like it might just be, it could be a quick loss. If it does proceed to trial, like I said, I don't know what country they're suing in or the legalities for said country or place this is going forth in, but in my opinion, it feels like this court situation may go quick as far as deliberation and then deciding because it's all going to end very fast. It feels like all of it's going to go very fast. We have 3 wands here, 2 deaths, so things are going to go very quickly. It's all going to come to an end. This is what's challenging them right now, and that could also be why they're at this crossroads here. And then yeah, 5 of Cups popped up, still having shame and regret about how things have just been playing out. Yeah, the truth is going to come forward about them as a couple. Yeah, truth teller. This could be the charity. The woman that's making these accusations, that chairperson, initially mentioned her issues with the couple. Okay, she could be bringing forth more light about them. Yeah, judgment. Ooh, they got lots of major arcanas already, you guys. Like, it's like they're going to be judged about their money, how things have unfolded, their karma. This Queen of Wands, the Leo, allegedly, they are going to be in for a ride with this court case. Okay, the best, in my opinion, now's my opinion from as a reader, the best thing they can do right now is to settle out of court. They do not want to take this to court at all because if they do and it becomes publicly available, but yeah, it's definitely going to cause some harm to this fire sign, this Leo. But again, karmic energy coming through here already. Still karmic energy. This fire sign, whatever you've done or however you've done it, actually may just be both of them. Whatever they've done to cause these karmic consequences, they need to go ahead and start fixing it now because court is going to illuminate a lot on them, and also allegedly could be illuminating the issues they're having with their finances that the public may not even be aware of. If the mic sounds funny, y'all, I just realized it was turned backwards, so I'm hoping that it doesn't sound too crazy. And I just fixed it, so hopefully it sounds okay. Right now, it seems like Meghan is really focused on moving forward in her marriage. Yeah, and I would suspect there are also some things she's trying to work on and get that. I'm hearing like the grind does not stop. So Australia was not as successful as they'd hoped, but it's like there's going to be some other things that she's going to be trying to do. Not going to be good for her because look, we have 8 of Swords. You're still feeling trapped. Things kind of just being laid to rest here. People probably not returning phone calls. She's going to continue hitting roadblocks in her energy. Why is she going to continue to hit roadblocks? Yeah, it's because she's very disillusioned about things, especially when it comes to her marriage. I don't think it feels like she does not have a clear vision, like not being realistic with yourself. I feel like that came up in her reading before. She could just be looking at all of her options as what route could she take at this point, still giving like crossroads type of energy here. Like, what are my options? What am I gonna do? But like I said, she's gonna just continue to move forward at the end of the day, and how to make money. It still feels like, or at least prosper is in her energy. Like, how do I want to continue to work on my businesses no matter what, because it does not stop. But she's going to be hit with some delays. These are not good cards for her because this could literally be delays to progress, issues, obstacles. We just have some disillusionment, cloudy vision. Also, her just considering her options around that, but she's going to have some issues moving forward. She may have to face some things just kind of coming to a close. These are currently her hopes and fears right now. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but I'm just getting that she's still going to encounter this karmic energy, in my opinion. All right, so let's do Harry. Harry's also worried about his money. I think he is an earth sign too. Worried about his new beginnings. How things are just going to turn out in general. Like still dealing with generational wealth, his family, things that have happened in the past. His father too. I'm getting this as the royal family's energy. He's worried about them. So they're both worried about two different things. I'm still getting it's kind of the same energy I got in the reading I did on them before. She's worried about her businesses. He's just kind of worried about his family. I'm hearing his brother. They are not on the same page, it seems. Yeah, he's worried about the family, the royal family, his marriage too, to a degree, his wife, their money, them being in poverty energy, allegedly, in my opinion. I'm gonna pull one more card for him. People not wanting to work with him, projects that are probably delayed or things he may want to work on, but he can't. Another pentacle card. Yeah, worried about money, how things are going to turn out. Meghan is worried about secrets around their money issues that are going on in secret, those becoming public, but it feels like it's still going to be in that secretive energy. The money issues dealing with this married couple. What else? Then we have a King of Swords. Somebody. Oh, yeah. So this could be the justice system. Like I said, because we don't have court documents right now, we don't know what's in there, especially the country that this is happening in, things coming forth as a result of that lawsuit potentially that are done in secret, their money issues, especially the defamation case. And I believe he was one of the co-founders, so they may look into like how much money they've invested in. They have financial stake in it. They may bring up bank records and accounts, and that's for her near future. So Harry's going to be seeing a closing of a cycle of betrayal here. What is the cycle that's going to be closed? Ugh. We have 3 of Swords, we have 10 of Swords, and then we have 6 of Swords. I'm going to say this because this came up in the Oracle cards, I believe, but it's like their marriage issues may come to a head. It might just be too much for him. He might leave. They might get separated to some sort. Like they may just be married on paper, but like I said, it does not feel like they are in a combined home, like living together as a happy married couple. Like things actually may come to a close for them officially, especially with these cards that I'm getting for him. She feels like she's worried more about finances and things coming to light and what she has going on, but he's kind of just worried about leaving and doing his own thing. And if you remember the reading I did before, because his family is coming up in energy now, I mentioned that he may have conversations, and in order for him to potentially heal with his brother, their relationship, he may have to leave her behind, allegedly, in my opinion. Maybe what this card is, especially with his heartbreak, and we have temperance here right behind it. I don't know that I can see them together long term, allegedly, in my opinion, from the cards. Yes, there's this third party energy here. He may be tied up in, like I mentioned before. Long term for Meghan and Harry, we have Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles. That could be their children. All right. Wish fulfilled. So it's like they probably are staying together now for the sake of the kids. This is probably what their end goal was to have children at the end of the day for both of them. Like they're okay because they have the kids. They got that part out the way. Yeah, the kids are what's keeping them tied together. So I don't know that they'll get like a divorce per se because of the optics. I don't know that I get that, but the kids is literally what's keeping them tied to one another. This is the Leo right here. So they're gonna ride it out. I don't see divorce, but I see separate but together energy for them. But interesting reading on them, to be honest. They have a lot going on right now, okay, in all areas. Now I don't think the Australia tour helped them. If anything, it feels like it hurt them a little bit. But that's all I got. I hope this did not trigger you too much because I know some of y'all get tied up about Meghan and Harry. But nonetheless, hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.